Independent economic analysts said the federal budget for the upcoming fiscal year sets a roadmap for growth-oriented economy while providing maximum possible relief to the poor. More in this report by correspondent Hassan Gillani.
The federal budget for the upcoming fiscal year is basically a reforms-oriented budget. It carries measures and steps and planning to continue that reforms process that has been initiated in different important sectors of the economy. Now, the real challenge, the real goal is to actually turn this reforms-oriented budget into a growth-oriented budget in the coming years. PTV World reached out to different independent economic experts to get their take on the pros and cons of the budget for the upcoming fiscal year.
I think the government is targeting that we have to go for growth. And we see this target at this 4.2% this year from 2.7%. But I think the government's challenge is that where will that growth come from? Because the space is very limited. You have to have a very fiscal consolidation because you cannot lose this fiscal consolidation at this point of time. But what I'm saying is the good part is that this stabilization that we have achieved, this is in a way an opportunity because we have achieved it at the very beginning of the IMF program. We are just in first year and we are already stabilized. All the economic indicators are moving towards good direction. Inflation is falling, policy rate is cut to half from 22% to 11%, rupee is stable. So I think this will provide government to at least gradually start expanding the economy.
There's a special attention given to poor and the vulnerable, especially, for example, if you look at the social protection, there are huge allocation. I mean, it is unprecedented 721 billion that has been allocated to Benazir Income Support Program. If you see last year, it was 592 billion. So there's a 21% increase into that. And again, there was a special mention by the finance minister about the objectives that how social protection this year is going to reach around 10 million households in the form of cash grant. Again, there will be around allocations for educational stipend for 12 million of these poor and vulnerable households. And then it's also coming with an angle of financial inclusion. For example, there's a talk about soft agricultural loans without guarantee to the farmers that will be landing in their digital mobile wallets.
The agriculture sector and the LSM, which is the large-scale manufacturing, are considered to be the two main important engines of growth for Pakistan's GDP. Now, to achieve the set GDP, the government is trying to make sure that these two sectors are developed as much as possible. One example is that despite the reservations from the IMF, the government did not impose any new tax on fertilizer and pesticides to give relief to agriculture sector and small farmers. Hassan Gillani, PTV World, Islamabad.